It wasn't but 3 rounds ago that Outsider Racing League tackled its first road course race of the season, the 3.4-mile Watkins Glen in upstate New York. With a short interlude for some regularly scheduled oval racing, we return in round number 7 for a few more lefts and a few more rights. Enter Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, a 2.26-mile, 13-turn road course in Lexington, Ohio, where we'll contest the next round of the 2020 ORL Championship this afternoon. It'll be 35 laps around this tight technical circuit, and hometown hero, IMSA driver, and Daytona Sebring winner Tom O'Gorman will go up against the best in the stock car business in his first ever ORL race tonight. Welcome to Sim TV. My name's Kyle Heyer, joined by Finian Nakuna tonight for the second road course race of the season. Finian, Mid-Ohio is extraordinarily technical, and I think that Tom O'Gorman's experience at this track, being an Ohio native and an IMSA driver who has had success at this racetrack before, I think he's got a pretty good shot, even though he just bought the car a couple days ago, and this will be his first ever stock car race in the league. Outsider Racing League. So here we go tonight, Finian, Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, indeed. We definitely expect to probably see him amongst the top 5, at the very least top 10. I think getting the win's going to be pretty hard because even though he does have a lot, and I mean a lot of road course experience and a bunch of different cars on the sim, at least, and also quite a variety of experience in real life on road courses, I think the biggest challenge for him is getting used to running these stock cars at road courses. These things don't handle like traditional road cars, and that's what makes these things really fun to watch on a road course.
Let's take a look at our track map for this afternoon here, Finn, because this is not a course that we're maybe familiar with stock cars, and here is a look. 2.26 miles around this racetrack, Finian. 2 key parts of the track already highlighted, the Keyhole and Thunder Valley. The Keyhole, probably one of your best passing opportunities, but your lap is going to start with a left-hander into turn number 1 before you head down to turn 2, known as the Keyhole.
Yeah, just really the entire first sector of the track, really leading up to turn 4, I think is probably going to be where you're going to see most of the passes. After turn 4 into turn 13, you can just see it's a very tight section. You know, maybe if you're in an Indy car or, you know, an open formula car, just a road car, a proper, you know, touring car, I think you can make passes in that section. In a stock car, probably not unless someone's off the track in the grass.
Yeah, turn 4 really down into, there's a gravel trap out there they call China Beach. So a lot of drivers will get themselves stuck out there or thrown out there. Then again, the run through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into Thunder Valley, turns 10 through 12, and around out the carousel in turn 13. That's that left-hand kink back onto the main circuit on the front straightaway. So a very, very tight technical course. And in real life, the NASCAR Xfinity Series is the only series that tackles this in stock car form, but tonight we're going to take the cup cars out there, and they just got a lower downforce change, Finian, so that's certainly going to change this race a little bit. Last time we were at Watkins Glen, we had the higher downforce, so some new changes this week for this car as qualifying is underway.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to help through, you know, the snaily bits, those, you know, for a majority of the track, the section of track we're talking about after turn 4. So then this is going to be the first time we're actually watching, you and I are watching a race here with this newer package, so it'll be interesting to watch these guys go around here. Looking at 83 Brandon Gagnon now. He's one of the few guys out on the track starting up their Q runs.
So qualifying is just about beginning. We have 10 minutes of qualifying this afternoon, and Tom O'Gorman has yet to leave his box. He's going to be on the Sim Motorsports team today in the Grid Life sponsored car. You got the number 94 adorned on the side. Let's talk about our typical road course ringers. I got to think about Yusuf Ghali, who was our winner last time out at Watkins Glen. He's running a kind of that TRD Celica throwback paint scheme back to the IMSA days here. A nice fitting touch here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Alex Bell was top 5 at Watkins Glen, and I would expect him to be really, really solid again tonight. A great looking number 15 as he rolls through turn number 11.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I think one car that looks a little bit better than his is the 31 of Brandon Gagnon. Not sure he's
Brandon Bowers is who you're thinking of.
Yes.
So Brandon Bowers in the 31 just rolling out onto the track with his Coca-Cola car, and boy, is that thing pretty. The red glowing, that is such a good-looking race car. My gosh.
I definitely think it's the way the sun's angle. A lot of the cars with these spec maps are looking really nice here in particular.
And the new Chevy nose on this car as well. It's also helping the situation. So Alex Bell's gone through Adam Cabot. How about his number 77? He's got a new spec map on board this car this week. That looks good as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was really nice. Just watching him take on his lap into the keyhole and off out of the keyhole he will go onto the long back straightaway.
And there's Tom O'Gorman throttling up and getting set up for a lap. Let's ride on board with the 94 Tom O'Gorman. He self-proclaimed that he feels like a lost puppy here this afternoon, Finian. This is certainly something new for Tom, but he's going to give it a try. Of course, his real-world experience in the Michelin Pilot Challenge Series in 2019 ran for LA Honda World Racing in the number 37 Honda Civic Type R TCR, ended up 4th in the championship after sweeping the first 2 rounds. So he's No shortage of talent, but tonight it's going to be an exceptional challenge for him.
Yeah, and again, he's kind of here for one off on the road course here. They're seeing him now come onto the back straightaway. Be interesting to see where his lap's going to end up. He was pretty quick in practice. Was pretty much around 5th through 7th. That's where his times were ending up as guys were constantly putting down time. Speaking of which, as of the first kind of wave of cars we've had come across start-finish line, it's Zach Carr on top of the board with Joshua Banks and Alex Bell rounding out your top 3 as more and more guys are completing laps.
So down the hill he goes and heads towards the far side of the course. Pick up another couple drivers. Steven Peplinski in the number 88. This is a brand new name. His first race of the season in his number 88 Toyota Camry out of Florida today. So he'll head down towards China Beach.
Yeah, what a place to make your debut at for potentially the series.
Look at that number on the side of it.
Yeah.
That's stylized all the heck, isn't it? I don't know if that's a hair or a mustache or what it's got on there, but it looks like toothpaste almost. So he's out on course qualifying. AJ Stravato, Tim Downey Jr. Other drivers we should keep an eye on. Martin Sproul, always a talent at the road courses. Almost won Sonoma last season, battling the 48 of Jeff Wright, who ultimately lost that battle. Where is Jeff Wright? He's out on track too. And we've discounted him in the past at Watkins Glen. Didn't really run very well there. But think about the more technical tracks. Sonoma last season he won. Silverstone, same thing. Big slide there in qualifying, but he's certainly going to be a threat to win this race tonight as he goes around turn 5 and 6.
Yeah, I think it looks like he might have given up on this lap. He was really slow through a few corners here. He might just be setting up potentially for a second run.
So he's going to head through the S's now and up the hill, and your car's going to lose grip over this crest. You can see the back end slide out of the 48, so keeping the power to the ground without slipping those tires is incredibly important. Tom O'Gorman's gone 6th quick on his first lap. We'll see if he can improve on the second of the 2 laps. Jump down the order a little bit more. How about Eddie Trejo in the 21? He's out on course in his Ford Mustang.
He's actually
pulled
going back into the pits, yeah.
Jeremy Miller comes on through. He'll go 9th best. Angelo Ronis, he had a pretty solid run at Watkins Glen, and I wouldn't typically call him a road course ringer, but he had a pretty good result there. We'll see if he can do the same thing.
Yeah, he's been doing a solid job just, finishing the race, and I think that's a big thing that's going to be a big factor tonight. This is a very technical road course out of the road courses on the schedule, so yeah, I would expect a lot of attrition tonight for some guys maybe towards the back that are not quite comfortable, not that experienced running road courses. This track will definitely eat them up.
And he just went 13th best on the leaderboard, make that 14th. Someone else just jumped up ahead of him. How about Tom O'Gorman? 2nd quick on the timing and scoring, Finney. That's a great starting position.
Yeah, that really is.
Hang on there.
Beating teammates Yusuf Gali in the 54, who's currently 4th on the charts. Jacob Planker looking at in the 38. He's coming through the final set of corners, and we'll see where he will end up.
Getting throttled back up here, we'll see. It looks like the time's no longer being recorded, so I think this lap has been invalidated. He's got enough time to run a second one.
Oh, that was his out lap. Yeah, he's starting now.
Chad Ron Beam in the 32 has not yet taken to the grid. Here's that 31 car again, and I just cannot get over the beautiful red color. That just looks like it came straight out of the refrigerator or refreshing Coca-Cola. And gonna head through turn 5 now as he crests the hill and heads back down to turn 6.
And he was really fast in practice, so I expect this 31 to be in the top 5 minimum, if it, at the very least top 10. So I'll have to see where it ends up as long as he didn't go off track.
Oh, big slide. Comes over the crest of the hill again, tries to put the power down. That's going to be the biggest challenge today, Finney, and not looping it as you crest the hill over it.
I think for a lot of these guys, it's going to be a matter of putting it next to no throttle until you get over that crest. Otherwise, you're going to light up the rears and just burn out your rear tires. Now, looking at Bowers coming through final 2 corners here, and out of the final corner onto the front straight away. Roll the 31 of Bowers end up. He's been really good at qualifying.
124.3, that's going to be good enough for, looks like 5th spot. So that's a really solid starting position for Brennan Bowers. A couple other drivers, well, he's going to go for a loop there. Here's Jeff Wright, and it looks like this might be a flyer. That's right on board.
I was going to say, I hope it's a flyer because he's going to have almost no time to get a lap in.
Oh, a lot of curb there in turn 2. Going to try to apex this late, but he didn't quite get it down to the apex here. Drifts out a little bit wide. He's going to have to recover all in the straightaway here, so not a great exit for turn 2.
He's got to hurry up because he's running out of time. He's going to cross the line with next to 0 seconds on the clock left.
Oh, that's right. It's a single car qualifying, so he'll get a lot of wheel hop down into turn 4. We got suspension cameras. We'll keep an eye on the brake temperatures this afternoon. This is on Jeff Wright's machine, and I imagine a little bit later in the race, so that right front brake rotor will be glowing red hot as we get into the hard braking, hard passing towards the end of this thing. I don't think he's going to get back.
It's going to be really close.
3 seconds is not a whole lot of time. Over the crest. And again, last season, the season before, he was the road course king, would win at every single one, was always a threat to win. Hasn't had the luck lately, but again, considering how technical Mid-Ohio is in comparison to Watkins Glen, which ran a couple weeks ago, I would have expected him to run really well here. It looks like he will get back to the start finish line.
Beat the quad barely with under 10 seconds left. Going to take the checker flag here. That lap seemed clean. It's going to be a 126, though. It's going to be pretty slow.
Yeah,
back in 19th. Yeah, it's been a struggle for this 48 of Jeff Wright. Watkins Glen, he had some decent pace, but got into a wreck early. That took him out of the going. So, you know, we're going to see how he's going to perform here, but it'll be the 27 of Zach Carr that will be starting on pole here.
Yeah, let's head down to the racetrack here in just a moment to bring you the starting lineup. It is a 35-lap race here this afternoon, Finian, and that is not a super long one by our normal standards.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'm probably going to start our gridding here because these guys have a pretty short pace up ahead of them.
Zach Carr, Tom O'Gorman on the front row in the 27 and 94. Back in row 2, Josh Banks in the 36. Yusuf Ghali in the 54 in 4th.
Moving on back to row 3, we find Brandon Bowers in the 31 lining up in 5th. Next to him, Alex Bell in 6th. Then in the next row behind him, Adam Cabot's going to be lining up 7th in the 77 next to Bailey Turner in the 24.
In 9th place, AJ Stravato in his number 33 Chevrolet, and Bryce Calusa in the 20. And back in row number 6, Jeremy Miller in the 30. And Stephen Peplinski, his first ORL event in 12th.
Yeah, not too shabby. Andrew Rona's going to be starting in 13th. Next to him, Brian Chambliss in 14th. Another row back, we find Jacob Plank in 15th. Clifton Cockrell in 16th.
17th place going to be Michael Sturgill in the number 90 and Casey Lakatos in the number 50 in 18th.
Going on back to 19th, we find Jeff Wright in the 48. Caleb Weekly, who's going to be lining up in 20th. Another row back, Elliot Butler in 21st. The 6th, Brandon Gagnon going to be lined up in 22nd.
23rd, Ryan Lang. Jesse Pierce on the outside in his number 40 back in 24th. Martin Sproul and Tim Downey Jr. in 25th and 26th.
Back in 27th, we find Eddie Trejo in the 21 next to David Mott Jr. in the 28th in the 29 car. Then it's going to be Chad Rumbeam in the 29th that'll round out your order.
I don't think there's a whole lot beyond that. So we'll head back up towards the front because the driver I'm keeping an eye on tonight, Finian, is Tom O'Gorman. Not a lot of confidence here tonight, but I think he's going to do just fine if he keeps it on the track, and he's my pick to win this thing. Because you don't qualify second place and not run well. I think he's got a good shot to win.
Yeah, well, I honestly think based off of practice and qualifying, I think Zach Carr is going to be the man that has what it takes here. Yusuf Ghali, who's currently leading the points, is in a tight battle with the 27 and was concerned about him potentially beating him. It looks like Jeremy Miller, I think, has got Neo well, so he's letting the field roll on by here as we're getting ready for the start of this race.
Up at the start of the field, we're coming to the green flag. Zach Carr in control. Green flag flies to the top of the Honda Tower, and Zach Carr is going to bring us down to the green. The rundown to turn 1, Tom O'Gorman, the IMSA driver's going to be in second place. Here's Joshua Banks going to chuck it down the inside for P2. Contact as they exit turn 1.
Banks, a horrible exit off the corner, is going to get in front of Tom O'Gorman, who's struggling now. He's just dropping down the order. Adam Cabot going by him. Bailey Turner working around his outside, looking at the top 3. They're single file for the moment. Who Banks almost got into the back of Bell.
It's like a bunch of hungry wolves out there and punting the 94 out of the way for second place. Here's Bell alongside Yusuf Ghali, but Ghali went from 4th to 2nd. O'Gorman 2nd to 7th.
Look at the lead that Zach Carr has already built up on Yusuf Ghali back in second place. He's trying to move the order. Tom O'Gorman side by side with that is Bowers in the 31 and now also with Cabot.
And a little bit side by side contact with Cabot. And around the outside in turn number 5. Going to throttle back up and try to get some of these positions back, but he's already recovering slightly as we head through 5, 6, and 7 and head towards the far side of the course, Thunder Valley.
Big group of cars in behind him. Bailey Turner, Stravato, Calusa, and one big group. There you see Stravato in the Exalta machine.
And so far, so good. No major issues to report. Out up front, Zach Carr, a 1.8 second lead, but it's Ghali in second place. Bell, Banks, and Tom O'Gorman rounding out the rest of your top 5. Ryan Chambliss under attack, or attacking Casey Lakatos in the 50.
A lot of these guys in the back, they weren't even really close to the grid because they're, the pace hop's so short here. There's some guys that weren't really bunched up when we took the green.
Down into turn 1, Zach Carr continues to try to drive away. Ghali, though, picking up a couple tenths through the final sector. There's Adam Cabot in the green number 77. And whoa, sideways, that's AJ Stravato in the 33.
Yeah, I got a lot of bounce, and here comes the 20 of Calusa looking up his inside into the keyhole. And it looks like Stravato's going to let him on by.
Beautiful camera angle here. Thanks to Finian for setting up all of our cameras every single week. And a run down to turn number 4. Again, one of the best passing opportunities on this racetrack. And take a look at Joshua Banks running up right to the back of Alex Bell in the 15.
Yeah, Banks, though, didn't have quite the best start. Got in front of Tom O'Gorman. That held them both up. So they dropped a little bit, but Banks now trying to work on Alex Bell, hasn't been able to get on by.
So we talked about this place being pretty technical. Brendan Bowers actually is going to have some trouble here at the bottom of turn 5. Yeah. And he'll go around. I'm just trying to see if there's maybe any contact here.
Yeah, there's no damage on that car. So I'm curious what happened to him. Oh, he's got loose.
Throttled up a little bit too soon, and around he went. And it's just so easy to just overpower the car. Tom O'Gorman goes 4th best on Joshua Banks, so he's clawing his way back forward again. After dropping down the order from 2nd to 7th, he's reclaiming some of those spots. The car goes through a 124.1. That was a little quicker than Golly. And Alex Bell knocking on the door for P2.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a lot quicker than Golly. Golly a second slower. And now you have Bell trying to make a pass on a move. The car, it looks like he has some damage, too.
Jacob Plank in the 38, and Brandon Gagnon's also had a bit of a spin. So some trouble for those drivers. We'll head back up to the battle for second. Golly and Bell nose to tail. And Golly, again, struggled at the tail end of lap number 2, and I think he's just starting now to extend his lead back on Alex Bell.
He's gotten back away from the 15. Now Gorman trying to look at Bell and trying to get back inside the top 3.
So, as I was saying before the 31 went around, this place is tight and technical, and you can't, passing is not going to be an easy task today. This is very rough and tumble. Move the guy out of the way. You see Chambliss under attack from the 48 of Jeff Wright and the 90 of Michael Sturgill. Here comes Elliott Butler sticking his nose in the mix. Whoa! Big slide onto turn 5.
Yeah, Chambliss made a great pass on Sturgill. Now here comes Elliott Butler looking to make a pass on Jeff Wright.
And through the trees they go. Butler. Pierce is back here as well in the number 40. That's one of those, I've seen that topic everywhere this past week. And look at the 19 slipping and sliding at the exit of the corner.
Even the IMS radio guys, they mentioned it too. I was like, okay, wasn't expecting to hear it out of their mouths, but.
Sturgill in the 90 up to 15th. He started this race in 17th, so he's gained 2 spots. How about Jeff Wright, 19th up 3 spots to 16th place. He's looking pretty good so far.
Yeah, he's been making some forward progress, and still, I think, far from where we would expect this 48 to be, but still, the race is pretty young. You're only on lap 4 of 35.
I'll tell you something, that Joshua Banks is following Tom O'Gorman tit for tat right now as they run down Alex Bell, and O'Gorman's last lap was a 124.8, and that was 0.4 of a second better than 3rd place Bell right now.
It's a lot of so 3rd, 4th, and 5th are kind of converging in on one another.
I want to take a note on the right front brake rotors of the 94 car of Tom O'Gorman. You see how much they're glowing? And again, this is, you see already, even in the lesser braking zones, he's got a lot more brake temp than some of these other drivers around him. Is this something that he's struggling with, transferring his experience from cars that have ABS to some that probably don't like this car? Well, definitely don't like this car.
Yeah, I think definitely that's got to be a part of it, because you consider the fact that, most GT cars have ABS in them. And meanwhile, we look at Caleb Weekly. He's looped it around in the 10 car.
See if we can find out what happened to him. And this might have just been a simple spin down towards turn 4 and just maybe charged it. Wheel hop a big issue tonight. Just got it in a little bit too fast and got out to track edge and caught the grass.
Yeah. Just a little bit of grass and that was enough.
So easy to do that. And 3rd place now under attack, Bell. As IMSA driver Tom O'Gorman hunting him down.
Looking at their last lap time, Bell not that fast. He ran a 125.6 to O'Gorman's 124.8.
And he's burning off the rears. And this is the same thing that he did at Watkins Glen, Finian, but you're not going to get away with it here today. You're going to use so much of that rear tire that if you burn it up, you're going to feel it. And already see the 15 car dropping back.
No, and he's just going to let O'Gorman on by. I think he knows he's going to pick who he's battling with and going to avoid that. Ooh, Elliott Butler out on the grass. This is in the keyhole. Down in turn 2.
Yeah, let's see if we can find out what happened to him here.
Working on Jeff Wright, actually letting the 6 on by.
Too hot, and understeered off into the gravel. And kind of a blessing that it not quite as grabby as it otherwise would be here. So he's back in 22nd spot now. We'll jump back to our battle for 3rd place because Alex Bell hasn't gone anywhere yet, but he is going backwards now. Joshua Banks starting to close that differential.
Yeah, Banks now working on Alex Bell. They were fighting earlier in the race, got separated by O'Gorman, and now they're back with each other. Ooh, Bell really struggling now. I think Bell's just pushing too hard, which is gonna definitely bite him towards the later part of this run.
So the other topic of discussion is tire and fuel strategy, because at Watkins Glen it was a two-stop race for everybody. But this is a much shorter track, the same number of laps. Everyone's still thinking a two-stop race, but I think for Alex Bell, he's definitely going to do his two-stopper if he's going to burn the tires up like that.
Yeah, you're going to have to see here. These guys can make it to lap 18 or 17. They're looking good to make it on one stop. If we see pit stops for some guys around 13, 14, it's going to most likely be a two-stop race. And here now looking at Banks' work on Alex Bell. Bell pinching him down on the apex. Now here they come down into turn 4.
I just thought it was fitting that Alex Bell's rear bumper says follow me, twitch.tv/Polar Pierce. Well, Joshua Banks didn't want to follow him anymore. He's going to pop out to driver's right, make a pass for 4th.
Ooh, Banks a little outside ways. Meanwhile, looking back in the midfield is Michael Sturgill running in 13th.
Casey Laconis in 15th, Martin Sproul, Bowers, and Jacob Plank, who had trouble earlier. And he's going to go around again at the exit of turn 4. Too much throttle. And here's Peplinski and AJ Stravato.
Yeah, another car back, we have Angelo Ronis, and now for the 11 on Ronis. He's third in the points. And I think the reason why he's third in the points, he honestly actually could have been higher. He's been extremely consistent this season so far. I'll pull up his last few finishes. So at Daytona he finished 7th, Rockingham and the Glen he finished 6th, Bristol he finished 3rd, Darlington 2nd. His worst finish was last week at Texas, which was 17th, but he's been running very consistent. So we'll see where he ends up at the end of this end of tonight, but we're having a really solid points run this season so far.
So the field works their way through turn number 1. It's Zach Carr in the lead by 5.4 seconds over Yusuf Ghali. How about 14th place changing hands almost? Jeff Wright's got the spot. He's trying to chase down Sturgill, and Martin Sproul's in behind. And we'll go back to P5 because Alex Bell's got more cars hunting him down. Here's Adam Cabot in the 77, who started in 7th and has gained 1 spot looking for another.
Yeah, Cabot's car is looking pretty strong, definitely top 5 worthy.
And if you look at the 15, walking all over the place when he gets in the brakes, that car is he's not comfortable right now, and you can see it in the braking. Down the hill again, working lap number 7 of 35 here today. A little back, deeper in the field again, Michael Sturgill in the 90. There's Jeff Wright right up to the rear bumper as they crest turn 5. Under the Honda bridge, now down through the S's. Martin Sproul, I'm a little bit surprised to see him back this far.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic in a way that he's with Jeff Wright. Both these cars you would expect to be a lot higher up the pecking order, but for Sproul, he's struggling quite a bit. Although granted, he did start back in 25th and is right up into 15th, so he's been making some decent progress forward, but still further back than we would expect.
Cross start finish line to complete lap number 7, and I want to take a look at the lap times here because one thing I've been noticing is Zach Carr still is the quickest car on the racetrack. Yusuf Ghali, though, is slowing down. Tom O'Gorman's been getting slower, but not as much as everybody else. Yeah, he's conserving the tires a whole lot better.
Yeah, so I think for O'Gorman, I think he's running pretty much on pace with Zach Carr ahead. Granted, he is about almost 7 seconds behind, but I think he's doing what he needs to do to potentially win this race. The problem is getting that gap down low. Meanwhile, looking at Bailey Turner in a mess, trying to make a pass on the 15 of Alex Bell is not going to be successful.
Yeah, Alex Bell is just going backwards. Since he started this race. There's Bailey Turner trying to overtake on him. Bryce Calusa, Stephen Peplinski in the 88, his first event. And I mentioned how impressive this was. Your first race to start inside the top 10 and to be running here at this technical of a road course. Really impressive start for the 88. Let's go back up to second, though. Yusuf Ghali and Tom O'Gorman, teammates tonight. Tomo with a one-off this week, and again, we just mentioned he just bought the car this week, continues to close in on that number 54, and the confidence was a big issue. Like I said in the pre-race, he felt like a lost puppy around here in this big stock car, but he does have experience in stock cars on road courses in the real world, and that seems to be paying off here as he's closing in on second place.
And interesting to see what's going to be sorted out here between the 54 and the 94 as they're going to get closer and closer to each other. Actually, last lap through, Gorman made a little bit more time upon Ghali, so curious to see what happens when the two get closer to each other. Looking at Joshua Banks back and forth, and then a little bit of a battle for fifth, more so sixth. as Bell's still trying to hold up Bailey Turner.
Yeah, you see Bailey Turner struggling to put the power down as well, and as these cars start to battle amongst themselves, you start to get really racy. You just want to get by that guy just that much more. You use a little bit too much throttle, you burn up your rear tire. So Bailey Turner has to be cautious of that, not to burn his own stuff up trying to get by the 15. Look at the slide in the 15 car as he battles the suspension through turns 4 and 5.
And you really see these guys kick out the ends of these cars more and more as the run goes on.
Over the hill again, cresting over the S's. This is probably perhaps one of the most challenging corners here. As you come over this crest, the car is going to get light. Watch the 15. Just kind of sidesteps as he crests the hill, and you can't get the power down until you come over the top.
Yeah, and you heard Bailey Turner wait quite a while to get back on the throttle. Jeremy Miller, looks like he had a spin down in turn 4.
Yeah, here's a look from up above. See if maybe wheel hop was a problem here. Yeah, already kind of in the corner sideways, and just slowly loops it. Doesn't spin all the way around. You see Jacob Plank kind of checking up.
Yeah, he was running 19th at the time, now back in 20 seconds. Not been a good day for Miller.
Adam Cabot has just gotten by Alex Bell, or actually Bell's recaught the 70s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised that Cabot has not driven away. I would have thought they would have, especially the way that Bell is falling back. It looks like Bell's gotten his stuff sorted out and is ready to make a charge back.
Bobble.
Yeah.
On the brakes, a little bit loose there, and Bell's closed right back up. Bailey Turner
we got a great run out the corner
for 4th.
Oh, the good run down the back straightaway here, now trying to build up a run on Cabot. I don't think it'll be enough to make a move, but it's definitely starting to put pressure on Cabot.
Into the braking zone again for turn 4. Turner closes still. And you see, this is the thing I wanted to take note of, though, is we're riding aboard the right front suspension here of this 24. The brakes are cool. You don't see any color, any temperature in these brakes. You go back up to Tom O'Gorman, who we saw earlier, not as much experience in these cars. Those brakes white hot with how much pressure he's using.
I'm curious, next lap by, I think we should try to do a little bit of a comparison as you see Bell catch some grass as he's trying to get this car slowed down. It's all the way on the back of the 77's going to leave some also tire marks coming out of the turn there through Thunder Valley.
Working lap number 10, so we're closing in the 1/3 mark of this race, and again, pit stops at some point. We'll see who's the first one to hit pit lane as they come through the final corner. No takers this time by. There is one car on pit lane, that's David Mott Jr. in the 29. I don't think this is just a scheduled stop, though. I think he's out of this race right now. Here's Peplinski and AJ Stravato. This is for 9th place. Bit of a bobble by the 88.
He's going to run a little bit wide. He's still got a better exit than Stravato in the 33, and Stravato currently in 10th. Trying to take 9th from Peplinski.
With that 33 close right up to the rear bumper. And a bit of a slide on corner X is still controlling that momentum. Back up to second briefly, because there is Tom O'Gorman passing the 21 of Eddie Trejo, who's now a lap down. And last time by, Carr was the quickest driver, 125.5. O'Gorman was second quickest with a 125.6. Gali was the slowest of the top three with a 126.0. in that number 54 car. Again, the winner from Watkins Glen from a few weeks ago, and also last season. So he's got quite the pedigree on road courses, but this is, I don't want to say it's been challenging for him. He's running second, but it's certainly being tested with Carr just driving away 7 seconds up the road.
Yeah, I'm now looking at Peplinski trying to defend off AJ Servato in the 33. Still the battle going on between them that we were looking at earlier. This is the section we're talking about a track. This is mostly single file. You really don't get a whole lot of opportunities to make a pass. Servato, though, a much better line through the corner there on Peplinski, but he's been struggling to get back on the power in comparison to the 88.
Alex turns around in the final corner.
Around in the keel, and
no, this is
this is the second last corner.
Yeah, last corner here. This is turn 12, and he'll get back rolling. And I have to imagine there was some contact here. It was behind Alex Bell. Was there a touch? Oh, yeah, just a little bit, kind of a hip check there.
They kind of found each other in the middle of the track. The 15 just went a little bit wide.
Yeah, right here, he's going to push off the inside lane just enough. Yeah. And it was left rear tire to right rear tire, which turned around the 24. So Turner goes for a loop in turn 12. Oh, look at the brake rotors on the 54 as well. This is on board with Yusuf Gali in second. Watch as he hits the brakes. See a little bit of temperature in those. And his teammate behind.
And they've kind of found each other finally. They've been getting closer to one another. So now they get to essentially duke it out here. I am curious if they're going to bother battling for it or just give yield a position to the other. As you look at Alex Bell, still sideways out of this corner. Now Calusa trying to make a run on him.
And Bryce Calusa started in 10th. He's up 3 spots into 7th, chasing down Alex Bell and Adam Cabot.
Lap cars ahead of them, or 1 lap car ahead of them. That's Eddie Trejo with 21. Then it's Banks up ahead in 4th.
How about AJ Stravado, Angelo Ronis? Ronis was battling a little higher up the grid at Watkins Glen, but this is still a pretty solid run from him. You mentioned his 3rd place points run.
Yeah.
But look who's behind him, Clifton Cockrell in the 16. Remember back at Sonoma a couple seasons ago, he ran pretty solid there. I'm a little bit surprised we're not seeing him a bit higher up the grid, but P12 ain't too bad. Ronis.
Yeah, this is actually a finish at Watkins Glen in 11th place, so as far as this season's concerned,
Par for the course, huh?
yeah, pretty much around where we would expect.
For the keyhole once again. And Alex Bell, Bryce Calusa seem way the way at the end of the straightaway. That's Joshua Banks pulling over to the side as the 15 car is going to go through.
Interesting to see that. Oh, he's actually letting everyone on by, it seems.
Oh, man, that's tight.
I thought he was at least. Bell's going to have to get it the hard way here. They're both side by side now. And neither driver giving up. It looks like Banks is just going to be able to bully the 15 for the spot.
He took all the curb to try to leave enough space. They're still battling door-to-door through the S's. The 15 has to heed position to the 36. Bryce Calusa unable to take advantage of all this, but they come out of the next corner into Thunder Valley. A big slide again by the 15.
Yeah, I haven't really seen any of the leaders at least make a trip down to pit road, so everyone's going for the 1 stop here, I would imagine.
Yeah, at this point, if you can make it 3 more laps, oh, here comes Joshua
I
Banks
didn't say that, ooh.
into pit lane. So is this a 2-stop race for him, or is it a 2-stop race for everybody? Again, they have to go 3 more laps to make this a 1-stop race.
Yeah, that's why I was surprised to actually see him come in this late. Ideally, you want to come in.
Oh, he sits off in turn 2. He's wide. And that puts Tom O'Gorman up into 2nd. Joshua Banks is into his box. Let's go back and see if there was maybe a touch between these two, or if it was just the 54 running wide, which I think that's the case.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was the case. It looked like
maybe
they weren't
not
necessarily near each other.
Here's a look.
Yes, Gunning was still ahead.
These guys technically teammates here. Was there a touch?
No, but just
got in there too hot and just ran off the edge of the track. And it's just a lonely feeling once you see the tire stop responding, you run a little wide, but puts Tomo to P2 in his first ever stock car race here at ORL, putting on a heck of a show. Meanwhile, deeper in the field, there's Martin Sproul, Michael Sturgill. This is for 15th place on track.
Yeah, Brandon Bauer still trying to recover from what happened to him earlier in the race when he dropped down the orders, coming running in 14th.
So a couple laps away from halfway, Angelo Ronis under attack from AJ Stravado. They're going to run side by side now to turn 6. This is so tight through here, through the S's, and to tuck back in line, maybe. It's really difficult to run side by side through the next set of corners.
Oh, almost a bump to the back of the 33.
Tuck himself in line. Angelo Ronis out of Pennsylvania in his number 11, running in 10th spot right now. Will we see more cars hit pit lane this time through? No, they're going to stay out again. So I wonder if Joshua Banks feels like he's good on fuel to go from lap 5 or 14 when he pitted, because then he's going to do a massive undercut. You see Caleb Weekly also hit pit lane. So maybe the undercut situation, get fresh tires, run some quick laps, be out in front. But then you have to defend, and we didn't see that work out very well at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for considering the tire, or at least especially the way these guys are just running the tire, I think you're gonna want to run as little laps as possible in each set. Maybe a lap early on this run, just because you're battling so hard. But I think you don't want to be on the tires longer than you want to.
Look at Alex Bell wheeling this thing. Let's watch him over the crest here. Watch his hands. You hear the uncertainty in his right foot as he comes over the crest.
You hear the revs peak too. Whoa, Cabot, very hot into the corner. That's giving him up a lot of time. Bell back on him.
Back through Thunder Valley, up into turns 9, 10, and 11, and back into turn 12. And again, we'll see if anybody dives for pit lane. Looks like Cabot's just going to run wide.
So he's at a really poor line.
Back a little bit deeper in the field. Here's AJ Stravado, Angelo Ronis. And Clifton Cockrell saw a hole there. He almost stuck the nose up inside. Stravado's going to run a little wide in turn 12. Here comes Ronis, and Stravado's going to say, nope, I'm going to head for pit lane.
Another early taker down onto pit road. Still have seen very few guys come in, which is kind of an indicator to me that a lot of these guys are running kind of close on fuel. Not to the point where I think these guys are going to be fuel saving, but I think to the point where they're feeling a little bit uneasy.
This is your battle for fourth on screen right now. Adam Cabot in the number 77. He started his night in 7th. Alex Bell, 6th to 5th. And Bryce Calusa, 10th to 6th.
Belt's trying to find a line on Cabot through scores. Cabot's been really struggling compared to where we saw him earlier in the run.
Yeah, he's fallen right back into the clutches of Alex Bell. And these guys, this is an interesting thing to look at. Here is your best lap time and your previous lap time. Calusa's previous lap was a 1:26.5. His best is almost 2 seconds faster. Now, compare that with someone like Tom O'Gorman. That is almost half of the loss that he's had, just over a second, 1.3 to be exact. So the guys that have been conserving their tires, their differential between their best and their previous lap is so much smaller than the guys that are burning up the rears.
Yeah, you're looking at Cabot and Bell. Appears to any of them. Oh, I think we have some takers down pit road. It's going to be Cabot that makes a trip down the pit road first. Not too terribly surprised. He was really struggling on the tires, so. And from this point on, he should definitely be good to the end on gas.
But Michael Sturgill has had a problem. Here's the look at the replay here.
Banks.
Whoa, big slide there for the 90 and got it back under control. There's Banks again sliding, so it's squirrely. Oh, he's off. Sturgill's off the course. This is
just down from where he had a little bit of an incident earlier.
Yeah, this is actually in turn number 10 here. Whoa! Stravado flies into this sector. It almost rear ends him. Here's a look at how he, was there contact here maybe?
Yeah, I think with the 36.
So this is right after we cut back from the previous replay, accelerating back up to speed.
Sorry, the 38.
Yeah, 38 of Jacob Plank. They get together, and he almost had it saved. It went for a slide. They're riding on board with AJ Stravado coming into the accident zone.
Yeah, he probably had a heart attack here.
Yeah, we're going to fast forward here a little bit to catch as he comes over the crest. Oh, man, that was terrifying. Back up live now, working lap number 17. And their leader is in. Zach Carr hits pit lane in the 27. Tom O'Gorman in P2 is going to stay out another lap here, Finney. And what's the call? I mean, I like this call for Tom.
Yeah, I was going to say, he might come in next lap through as we're officially going to be halfway at the end of this lap.
So O'Gorman will come on through, collect the lead. Yusuf Ghali's going to hit pit lane. And now we'll see what other takers come to pit road. Alex Bell's going to continue to stay out on old tires and bring Calusa with him.
I see Bailey Turner coming out of the final few corners. Is he going to make the trip down onto pit road?
He's also hit pit lane. It's now your battle for second with Alex Bell and Bryce Calusa as they head towards the keyhole. Oh, a bit of understeer, a little bit of brake lock for the 15. Calusa closes up.
Yeah, I'm curious what pace Calusa has, because I feel like the lap times you've been looking at are not quite an indicator of where his pace was. He's been stuck behind the battle in front of him for a majority of his runs, so I feel like he might be hiding something.
Through turns 4 and 5, up over the crest.
And actually, just to give you an idea on how the difference of pace, right behind these guys, you'll see Zach Carr. And so even though Carr made it a pit stop, and the guys that him didn't, he's still fourth.
It's pretty incredible the pace that Carr has had today. Now, again, he's going to be gaining time on the drivers that have not yet pit, those being Tom O'Gorman, Yusuf Ghali, etc. The difference is O'Gorman's going to have fresh tires later in the race, so if he plays his cards right, he's not going to make up a 7-second gap, but he certainly could build up time on the 27 here later in the race, so I don't think we're totally done yet.
Gorman still stayed out. He's going to continue on. He's going to do an overcut here.
And I like this, though, because you've already given up some time. You might as well commit to the strategy 100%. That's what he's done. It looks like Alex Bell and Bryce Calusa are going to come to pit lane. There is the 25 just leaving your view. That's Tim Downey Jr. This has not been a great season for the reigning champion.
Yeah, it has been really shocking. He's actually just about to go. He is a lap down already. So it's just not big. It's been quite a struggle, and I'm not entirely sure why. You know, not a whole lot's changed from last season, but it's just been kind of a struggle for Tim Downey Jr.
This is a season to forget. Remember last season, Alec Martinez was really the championship favorite heading into the last couple races. Almost won at Watkins Glen, which was one of the final races in the season. Didn't end up getting it. It was actually Yusuf Ghali that won.
Yeah, and I mean, for 290 Junior, he's only had one finish in the top 10. That was 8th at Daytona. Nope, that was at Rockingham, sorry. And the rest of his finishes have been 18th or worse. So yeah, this has not been good for him. Looking at Tom Gorman now. He's got to come in sometime soon. I'll be surprised if we can go another lap.
Yeah, don't run the car out of gas. I'm sure he's well tuned in to where he needs to come in here. He's going to hit pit lane right now. Oh, he's off in the dirt a little bit. He'll get it back on, but an aggressive pit road entry maybe gain some time there, Finian. Charging it more than these other guys do. And the thing is, he knows where the pit lane entry is. A lot of drivers that haven't been here before, most of the field, wouldn't even know how to get onto pit road if they didn't try it.
Yeah, I was going to say, for some of these tracks, you know, Barber's another one where that's a really funky pit road entry. Laguna Seca, too. You know, be careful. You'll find yourself in a barrier for the pit lane as that car retakes the lead as he gets past O'Gorman.
Yeah, so it's going to be an enormous lead that he has now. He's going to build up a much bigger gap, but now Tom O'Gorman will build this back later in the race with fresh tires. So provided, they're leaving pit lane right now. Here comes Yusuf Ghali, but now Tom's got fresher tires than everybody right now, which is going to put him in a great position.
I think he'll catch back up to Ghali here, but past that though, it's going to be kind of tough.
Yeah, the car is so far out in front right now.
15-second gap.
He's gotten an extraordinary lead. And now he's into some lap traffic. So let's pick up some of our battles that have resumed. Here's Jesse Pierce on the pit lane. How about Adam Cabot, Alex Bell? These guys right back where they started. This is for 5th.
It's surprising we didn't see any exchange. It pretty much ended up right, as you were saying, right where they left off. Joe Banks built up a bit of a gap. Remember, he came pretty early in his run, but he should definitely be good on gas to the end of this race.
Oh, look at Bell already wiggling and wobbling. He might have that brake bias set back a little bit more rearward, and he's going to take a dive up the inside of turn 5. It's not really a passing opportunity there.
Oh, almost made it one there as he almost got into the quarter panel of the 77. He's going to try to look at the outside here, but this section again is too tight. Going to have another look and have to back off.
Yeah, again, this sector is really not one. You can make a pass if you're really gutsy.
You can barely make a pass on a Skip Barber car. You can't really do it in these things, which are have a much bigger presence.
Working lap 21 of 35, about 15 laps to go here from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington, Ohio. Again, you're watching Sim TV, and the battle for 5th at the moment. Ooh, another big slide for the 15. Deeper in the field, Jeff Wright and Martin Sproul. These two have been tit for tat, and it seems like every single time we go to a road course, these two are right next to each other. Sonoma last season, Mid-Ohio today.
Yeah, and it's so surprised that they're not a little bit further up the grid. They're still running 14 to 15, which is not terrible and also not really great either. These guys kind of duking out amongst each other in the midfield.
Bottling back up onto the front straightaway now, and Clifton Cockrell just up the road in the 16. There's Brennan Bowers going to take a dive up the inside for position. This is for position on the racetrack, but Bowers unable to complete the pass.
Yeah, it's tough to get a line through there, and here we're looking at Rodas and Peplinski's Zaval for 10th place.
Oh, look at the brakes glowing on the 88 around the outside of the keyhole. That's a hard pass to make.
And Rodas going to get the spot over the 88, move himself inside the top 10.
Running down a long back straight here, maybe a little bit of draft to play with, but again, the smaller spoiler, which is a recent update on these cars. Oh, the 88 charges into turn 4.
Wow, don't know if he meant that.
Oh, there he goes. He loses it. And he saves it. Wow, that was a good save.
Yeah, that was a good recovery. I was going to say, I don't know if he meant to break that already. I think he just missed his brake marker and did a good job to avoid hitting the 11. This is almost a fantastic pass that he made.
Locked it up and looped it.
Yeah, so struggling to slow the car down, but nice little drift and got the car back in the right direction.
Again, that wheel hop is when you have too much rear brake bias and you're leaning too much on the rear tires. When you brake, all the weight shifts forward on the race car. You put all that weight on the front springs, the front suspension. The rear, you're gonna lose more control here. But you lose all that weight on the rear tires, the rear wheels start to bounce, and it's like basketballs for tires, and it's so hard to get back under control.
Yeah, I think he felt some grass there while under acceleration, which is a recipe for disaster. So he slid back further into the clutches of Bowers, Wright, and Sprout. So a big battle going on for 11th.
And back up for second place briefly. Tom O'Gorman just starting to now tick off laps a little bit better than his teammate and should be able to run him down here shortly. Now for 5th, again, Adam Cabot, Alex Bell for P5 as they run down to turn 4.
Bell thought about having a look into the inside of the 77, but thought better of it, going to sit in behind. Lewis is still,
oh man, he's been trying this pass, and I just don't see this.
Oh!
He's alongside, here he goes.
I was saying, you might make it work here. Ooh, Cabot gonna force the issue, gonna push 15 wide. They slam doors, and it's gonna be I thought it was gonna be Bell that would take it there, but Cabot's still on the gas.
What a pass if he can complete it, but he still hasn't done it. Still door to door through the S's now to Thunder Valley. Cabot re-clears the 50.
Oh, Bell trying to do a crossover on him. Here comes Calusa trying to look opportunistic and take the opportunity from that mistake from the 15 on the gas.
What an epic battle. This is for fifth. You'd think it'd be for the lead with how much they're leaning on each other.
Ooh, Calusa was looking past the inside of the carousel here, but
a little bit too deep in the braking zone. Alex Bell closes right back in on the driver he was just fighting. That's the 77. Back down in 11th place. There's Petlinski and Bowers fighting for that 11th spot. Bowers looks up the inside. Tight place to make that move, and he's going to try again. Oh, he's out of control.
You're going to slide a bit sideways. Here comes Sproul having a little bit of internet connectivity issues, but going to work around the outside of the carousel. Petlinski trying to keep all these guys in behind him.
Brown trying to stick the nose in there in turn 13, unable to make it work. A little defensive for the 88. Kind of pick the middle groove down the front straightaway. Back up in fifth, Cabot, Bell, Calusa. Here comes Bell to the inside a little bit later on the brakes.
Let's see a repeat of what we saw on the last lap with Bell. He's been loving making a pass to the inside of turn 5.
No, he's just keeping the car tighter in turn 5 in general, whether or not he's going for that pass.
By the time we get to turn 6, it's pretty much done and decided he's going to sit in behind for potentially another lap here, looking for some way around Adam Cabot for fifth.
Oh, he's a little wide. You get on that rumble strip, you don't really have a whole lot of space beyond that to catch the car. Another big slide by the 15. Let's get a look at that. It's been fun to watch.
You might want
okay, we're going to not cut back.
Yeah, Bell just got a bit of, whoa, almost clipped the rear of the 77. I'm amazed these guys haven't wrecked each other yet.
Around the outside he goes. Calusa sees the hole open, tries to stick the nose out the inside, and Bell is all over the back of Adam Cabot.
Oh, here comes Calusa now. He's going to be alongside the 77. No, he's going to back off of it. Calusa's been really patient in behind these guys. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to force the issue.
And through turn 1, they head down to the keyhole yet again. All for fifth place. And think back to Watkins Glen. It was Bell and it was Houghton that had issues throwing blocks down in the boot at Watkins Glen. That doesn't look like it's going to be an issue today. Here's AJ Stravato. Whoa, big lockup into the keyhole. And Turner's going to go around the outside, but unable to complete that pass.
And Turner's going to recover after making contact with Bell, if I'm not mistaken, earlier in the race in the carousel. So he's been recovering pretty nicely. All things considered, was up into 9th, working on 8th.
Oh, here comes Turner, gonna lunge up the inside.
Wow.
And Stravato's gonna have to give him the space, and they're both battling the car under control as they get down to the braking zone. Here's the 24 again up the inside.
Turner's been pretty aggressive. I think he knows that, he might have a shot of chasing down the guys up ahead if one of them makes a mistake.
And you have to be so patient.
Whoa.
It is absolute torture to hover your foot above that throttle, and you just want to plant it to the ground, but the car and tires can't take it. Back up for second place. We're coming back to 10 laps to go next time by Yusuf Ghali and Tom O'Gorman. They've actually been losing time to Zach Carr, who continues to set an incredible pace at the front of the field, but Sim Motorsports teammates going at it.
Yeah, I was going to say, not too surprising that Carr has been on another world and another race than these guys. He's been putting a phenomenal pace down compared to the rest of the field.
Only a couple cars reported out of this race. No major problems tonight. Just Eddie Trejo, Caleb Weekly, David Mott Jr., Chad Ryan.
Yeah, we've seen mostly, of anything, 2-car incidents. There hasn't really been much more than that, but, they've still got 10 laps, so over 10 laps left in this race. A lot can't happen.
2 Grid Light sponsored cars running nose to tail in second and third. And working their way towards the far side of the course, which is really just left and right S's. Ghali looking a little unstable here. Tomo keeping the car in a higher gear, an extra little bit of engine braking to help slow the car. And back up through the gears. And all the while continuing to lose time to Zach Carr. That is just incredible. Yeah. The pace that he's been setting up front. He's way over there on the far side of the course, Vinny, and that is insane. I don't think we've seen a lead like this in a long time in ORL at a road course.
18.5 seconds and growing every single lap. But in comparison, Zach Carr, he's been running really fast laps. 125.1 was his last lap to compare to Yusuf Ghali, 125.8. So he's running 7/10 faster a lap than Yusuf Ghali and O'Gorman.
That's just crazy to me. And again, maybe he's familiar with this track, maybe considers it a home track. He's from Michigan, not too far away from here. So maybe that has something to do with it. Here is AJ Cervato. Bailey Turner, a bit of a block on the front straightaway. Whoa, they're slipping and sliding through turn one.
I'm quite surprised that Cervato is fighting this as hard as he is. I would definitely say that Turner is the faster car. And Turner's also pretty aggressive too, so he's just kind of pushing Turner's buttons here, I think.
Oh, he's gonna run wide. Turner sees a hole. Gonna try to stick it up the inside. Not quite enough space. Here he comes.
Turner wasn't quite able to get back on the power, I think, as much as he would have liked, but it's going to get a little bit of a toe on Cervato and definitely going to be within distance to make a lunge down into turn 4. Here we go into the braking zone.
This is as close as he's been. Later on the brakes than the 33. He's going to get into the corner, and I think Cervato might yield, and he will. Through goes Bailey Turner to 8th.
Textbook pass there for Bailey Turner.
That was exactly textbook pass. Beautiful move. Move himself up into P8. So we've had a little bit of a calming for now on the racetrack. It looks like everyone's found some space.
And since we do have that, why don't we do a Sim TV sound search?
Yeah, let's crank it up, baby. Here we go. Working 8 laps to go here for Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and it's round number 7 of the 2020 Outsider Racing League. As we go back up to the front, it's been Zach Carr out in front for the majority of the race here. Finian, he has been dominant tonight. Not a chance anyone catches him unless he, frankly, just gets up and leaves. But Yusuf Ghali, second place. Tom O'Gorman in third. Again, the 2019 IMSA Michelin Pilot Series, fourth place in TCR driver and Ohio native. Rolls in third place right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Goro is kind of losing a bit of time to Ghali every lap. That was close to as half a second a little bit earlier, but Gorman's now dropped about 5/10 more than that, so he's dropped to second back from Ghali. And just kind of looking back through the order, we were looking at during that sound surge, Adam Cab and Calusa in a tight battle. Bell's fallen a little bit out of it, a second in behind. There you see him drifting out of turn 5.
A lot of curb there for the 20 as well, and that's one thing about Mid-Ohio that's kind of nice is, you know, it's a little bit of a change from tracks like Sonoma. All the curbs here, very, very flat and smooth, and you can use them to help the car rotate around. And at tracks like Sonoma, you know, you break your neck driving over some of them, but here they're nice and smooth, and you can get your tires up on them to help that car rotate around. So working now 7 laps to go.
Ooh, Cabot a little bit loose into the carousel. Calusa trying to force the issue here.
A really good run out of the final corner.
And notice Calusa's been kind of struggling to get back on the power in comparison to some of his competitors. That's been kind of killing his run down on some of the straightaways.
Bailey Turner in the number 24, running 8th place right now after starting in 8th. And this is one of those days, Finian, where you feel like you've, you see Cervato knocking the cone off there. One of those days where you finish this race, you're hot, you're sweaty, you're angry at everybody, but have gone nowhere. That's a frustrating feeling.
Yeah, I think he's going to be more frustrated himself because he could have finished actually in the top 5 had it not been for that earlier incident. He's dropped back now. He's 12 seconds in behind Alex Bell up the road, and that's that battle essentially for 5th there, but he's got no chance of really catching him at this point.
Jeremy Miller started the race from the tail of the field after he was originally scheduled to start 11th. Battling in 16th spot right now, Jacob Plank behind him, who's had kind of a tumultuous day and had a run-in or two. And run 17th right now. Fifth place, Adam Cabot, Calusa, Bell. These guys have been at it the whole race.
Yeah, this battle has failed to disappoint. These guys have been doing a phenomenal job racing each other. Surprised we haven't seen really any incidents between these guys, because like you said, they've been around each other for quite a while. At some point, you know, someone's gonna make a mistake, get into one another, but they've been keeping it pretty clean.
There was a slight mistake for the 77, a little bit too much rumble strip. Got the car a bit sideways, and Calusa was able to close. Let's jump back to second place, though, because I'm not convinced that this is over quite yet.
Yeah, well, Gorman's closing back. He was falling to about a second behind. Golly now is up within 3/10.
Whoa, cones go flying off the nose of the 54.
Yeah, guys have been, I feel bad for the track marshals trying to go up there and put the cones back every single time. I've noticed a lot of guys have been running so close to the inside of really the curve in the straightaway that they've been clipping the cone.
On board Yusuf Ghali again. A lot of brake temp in this car, but Tom O'Gorman's have actually cooled significantly, so he's kind of figured something out here, I think. And we haven't seen those brakes glow quite as hot on the 94 lately as we have on the 54. But Brandon Bowers in the 31 today. We got Martin Sprout tucked in right behind. Those cars move around on the brakes. He's in a little bit hot here.
Sprout up into 12th place, and then it's like, whoa.
Took a look, took a swipe at him.
I was going to say right in behind Sprout is Jeff Wright. Well, not necessarily right in behind. Position-wise is Jeff Wright in 13th.
Angelo Rodas inside the top 10 again. Oh, Bowers has gone around. Is at the bottom of turn 6. And it's been a bit of a struggle today for Bowers. Here's a look. Was there contact here between him and the 19?
No, I think just caught grass on entry, yeah, and that was the end of that.
Sent him around. 5 laps to go at the front of the field. And there's Peplinski in the 88 who just got around the 31 after his loop.
Yeah, there's Jeff Wright up the road ahead of them. Looking now at Adam Cabot. Still this battle raging on for 5th place. Ooh, Caluso, it looked like he was going to get a great exit off the corner, but lost some of it there, that little slide that he had on exit.
Oh, they're all cutting that access road really tight. But conservative on the brakes for Calusa. Again, I still feel like he's saving a little something here for the last couple of laps, like you mentioned earlier. Oh, for second, Ghali's off the course.
Oh, and I'm curious.
Was there a touch?
I think I see some damage on the front of O'Gorman's car. Nothing in the rear of Ghali.
They're pretty far apart. I'm curious if there was actually was a touch. I don't know if I saw any damage. He just ran wide all on his own.
Mistake from the 54.
Yeah, second mistake he's made today. Very uncharacteristic by Yusuf Ghali. He's been dominant on the road courses lately. Oh, hear about this battle. There's Brian Shambles, Brandon Bowers, Jacob Plank. This is all for 14th as they head down into 4.
Shambles on the attack. Oh, in the 38. Plank's going to turn around Bowers.
This has just gone from bad to worse for him here.
Going to continue as he dropped down the order. Was running in 11th. He was running in 13th until that happened.
Calusa, a bit of unders here through turn 1 now. 4 laps to go. And up front, Zach Carr is almost back to 3 laps to go already. That's how far of an advantage he has. How about a 25-second lead? That is unreal.
And he's put quite a few people a lap down. There's only 18 guys on the lead lap. That's considering we got 25 guys running on a road course in a race this short, too. So props to him.
Joshua Banks, we haven't really talked about him a whole lot today, but he's been inside the top 5 for most of it. Had a really solid day, and just needed a little bit of luck and a little bit of a good day to turn his season back around. And again, back to the battle for 5th because they have not stopped the entire race. Now I think people are going to get a little bit less patient with only 3 laps to go now.
Yeah, I was going to say, you saw Calusa get so close, you can see the individual specks of tire rubber on the hood of that car. He's waiting to do something. Ooh, Bell's waiting to do something. Gonna push the 20 off the track. Wow, what a move.
And Alex Bell uses the chrome horn. Goes up to P6.
That was a really good bumper run on a road course.
It
I gotta
was
say.
super solid. I mean, you typically do that in that corner to send someone around for a ride, but Cabot's wide. Here comes Bell up the inside. Opportunistic.
Oh!
He gets into the 77, turns him sideways, but Cabot saves it. Bell will continue.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably not as good. And you see how much time he lost doing that. Oh, and Bell's gonna get some grass on entry. He's gonna go way wide into the corner.
Was that cross or was there contact? I don't know, but either way, they're gonna run side by side to the keyhole.
Yeah, Clu's got a great run through the corner after Bell messed up the entry on the outside, deep on the brakes for both these guys.
Oh, and that's a little bit wide for both of them. Bell tries to turn back down to the apex in a big slide with his big V8 motor trying to put power to the ground.
Calusa trying to look to the outside, but Bell struggling to get back on the power. They're both slowing each other down. Cabot driving away as these guys are now fighting it out for sixth.
Drag race to turn number 4. Who's going to brake later? Into the braking zone. Bell on the outside, Calusa on the inside. And Bell's got the advantage here. Now back to driver's left. Calusa going to stay to driver's right as they head to turn 5, and Bell clears him and hangs on to 6th for now.
Oh, man, these guys have been
wow. They're going to be
sliding
exhausted.
out of every corner.
They're going to be very tired at the end of this one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, they lost quite a bit of time. They've dropped back 1.4 seconds behind Cabot, so they got to make that up here.
Bell's a little wide again. And that car has just taken 2 laps to go. So another couple miles for him. Or Collins continue to fly.
He just obliterated all of them. Strike.
They can give you damage. You gotta be careful. There's more cones still flying back there with some more cars. There's Yusuf Ghali in third. He's got big problems.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to make it to the end of the race and just avoid getting passed by Joshua Banks. No point in him trying to push to catch him. Corman, he's way too far behind now.
I think we dare take cameras off these two. They've been going at it.
Bell's got 2 more laps to try to catch back up to Cabot while also holding Calusa in behind.
Keeping an eye on this battle back here as well. Shamlis and Jacob Plank. This is for 14th.
And we saw Plank get into Bowers earlier.
Oh, there's a hit. There's a touch. Oh, I pulled away right as Shambles is just out of control. And they're going to run side by side through turn 1. And Plank's going to run on the outside.
Yeah, I was struggling to get back on the power. You know, easily lose a spot there's on the white flag lap.
Yeah, well, okay. Zach Carr's on the white flag lap. It's going to be about 20 seconds until anybody else is. These guys still about a lap and a half left to go. And Cabot getting run back down by Alex Bell.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised it cut back up, but Cabot's been taking it a little too easy. Here comes Calusa. Look up the inside into the as they head towards the carousel.
Oh, and Bell goes back around. Oh, Zach Carr. Oh, no.
No way.
No. Does Zach Carr lose connection?
Oh, man.
No.
That's going to hurt.
He's recorded as being in the stall. Did he crash or did he lose connection?
Oh, he's back.
Oh, man, he almost lost the race.
Man, O'Gorman was almost looking at the race win there.
Oh, my goodness.
How about that?
He had been disconnected for about 10 seconds, which is almost as long as you can be disconnected.
That was a scare.
6th place continues. But Zach Carr, a couple more corners for him. This has been an absolute clinic by the driver of the number 27 Chevy Accessories Camaro.
Yeah, no, the only scare he's really had this entire race was that right there where he disappeared off of timing and scoring, but he's back on the track and he's going to come out of the final few corners and win at Mid-Ohio.
And in the nick of time before the internet fails on him, Zach Carr gets it done. And it's a whole long way back to find Tom O'Gorman. And earlier he said, as we mentioned in the pre-race and after the race just started, he felt like a lost puppy. But he's not a lost puppy. This is his home track, Finian, and he's an IMSA driver. He knows what he's doing. He got there on talent, not money, and he shows it again today. Comes home 2nd place in his number 94 Grid Life Toyota Camry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think a lost puppy would be on the 2nd step of the podium, but that's where Gorman's going to be as he comes out on the final corner. There will come across the line. Ghali's going to finish in 3rd, but we're going to look back here at this fantastic battle we've been watching with the 77, the 15, and the 20.
This is the farthest part they've been the whole race. Look at Calusa up the inside, trying to steal it, but Cabot P5. Bell P6 and Calusa P7. That's how they'll finish this one. They'll find and pick up Bailey Turner back in 8th place. And after 35 laps at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, he went effectively nowhere.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to be a little bit frustrated with this, but a solid finish nonetheless in 8th. And right in behind him, how about Ronis? Notice how he snuck up. I think Stravano had an issue. But Aronis is going to finish ahead of the 33, taking 9th, Stravado in 10th, and Sproul in 11th.
Ryan Chambliss has gone around on the last lap. Oh man, a couple drivers squeezing on by, but I wonder if there was maybe a touch here that sent him around, or if this was all on his own. Looks like it was all on his own. Here's a quick replay. It's got in too hot. Went for it to get around Peplinski. Dropped a couple spots. We'll head back up live, and that is effectively the end of the event, as a couple more drivers have yet to come on through. But what a race for Zach Carfinian. Never looked back.
Yeah, it really has, and he just took off as soon as he saw the green. Oh,
that was 40 car. Jesse Pierce giving a bit of a push and a shove, but Zach Carr's going to come back to the start-finish line, and he'll be ready to celebrate in his number 27 after winning at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course round number 7. He'll burn it down. And it feels good.
It does. I was gonna say the only damage he
and he parks it in the wall.
The only damage he got was that tap on the 40.
Does he know there's a camera here? Because that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was gonna, yeah.
That's a cool shot. Oh, those tires are doing all sorts of legit.
Yeah, that's...
All right, everybody, here, let's take a look at your race results here and have a look at who got the job done here today. It's Zach Carr, the 27. Tom O'Gorman out of Ohio. Home track advantage for him. He comes home second in his first ever and probably last ever outside of Racing League start. Yusuf Ghali third in the 54. Joshua Banks in fourth place. Adam Cabot rounds out the rest of your top 5. Finian, what a great race. We're going to talk to your top 3 here in just a moment. But Mid-Ohio is always an entertaining racetrack. We saw some great racing for the entire duration of the event.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious if we'll see him back for another one. We go to the Roval on the 2nd of May, and then we go to Mosport later in the season. So this is not the last road course, so we could see him back for that. He's up for it.
All right, we'll be on for just a second. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back live to Sim TV. We're here now with your 3rd place finisher, Yusuf Ghali, in the Sim Motorsports number 54 Grid Life Camry. Yusuf, tonight was an all-out brawl, but you called it a spanking when the off-air there. Zach Carr absolutely obliterating everybody tonight, but at 3rd place, nothing to hang your head about. It's been a really solid season so far, especially at the road courses for you.
It was a fun race, especially with Tommy and I there. We're racing there for about 15-20 laps. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy having these unique road courses on the schedule because it's just something different, more than the ovals every other.
Talk to me a little bit about the mistakes, because there were a few of them today running off track. Was it tire wear? Was it the track conditions? What happened though down there in the keyhole and on the far side of the course towards the end of the race?
I hadn't run this track in probably 2.5 years, I think. So I just wasn't used to the tire wear and all that. It's way higher than Watkins. I really enjoy racing.
All right, coming off a win last week in his home track, Yusuf, a 3rd place this week at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Congratulations. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Moving on now to home track advantage driver Tom O'Gorman. He got it done, P2, Tomo. This is perhaps unexpected for you. I thought right out of the gate you were going to run really well here, but 2nd place after running with your teammate there back and forth a couple times. No match for the leader, but you got to be pretty thrilled with a 2nd.
Yeah, no match. I mean, Zach's pace was insane, and I didn't get a ton of heads up for this, and I was really happy to accidentally kind of figure some things out in the last couple laps of practice that let me qualify well. Got moved out of the way into turn 1 because I forgot to race the stock cars, man. And then in the fuel stop, because I'm a road course idiot, I forgot that you can't just turn the fuel off at some point and gain any advantage. So I cut myself a lap short on fuel and had to save 14 laps of fuel to make 15 laps for the last 15 laps. So I got really lucky that Yusuf went off because I was just going to have to cruise behind, and then I finished with sputters. But that was a ton of fun. It flew by. That was a lot of work.
Do you feel like you had any advantage here because this is your home track? And you've talked in the past about how Mid-Ohio is a special place in your heart. Can you talk a little bit about that and what this track means to you?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up like in the S's, hanging off the fence, watching those cars, and like I said, I don't have any experience in the iRacing stock car stuff, so most of it was just kind of applying that to what I know of Mid-Ohio, and actually kind of creeping on Zach's replays and figuring out what he was doing to go so fast. And he was kind of doing Mid-Ohio like I've never seen Mid-Ohio driven, so that was kind of neat to experience a track I know for the entire, 28 years of my life in a completely different way, and try to like wrap my head around doing that too to go fast.
Well, it was fast enough for second place, and I know Tom, second sometimes is the first loser, but today I think you're pretty happy with P2, so congratulations on that run, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, I'm just happy to be here.
Alrighty. Moving on now to your race winner. Oh, I jumped out of the wrong room. There we go. So I was going to drag it, and then when you dragged Tom out, Finny and I jumped on down. Hey, Zach Carr, hey, that wasn't even a race. You just drove away and won the race by 30 seconds. Unbelievable pace that you had tonight. Walk us through your race then, and how much practice did you lead up to this week, or was it a home track advantage for you?
Yeah, it was a great race. The only practice I had was hot laps. I knew that once I first figured out the track and the gearing, I knew that if I could just run hot laps that smooth without like burning the tires off, I could just run that same pace during the race. And that's exactly what happened. It was fun though overall. Tom was pretty close on speed early on. I don't know what happened to turn one. I know Tom went wide and everything into turn one. But other than that, I think everybody ran a good race, and I thought the setup was good. And it was fun.
This has been a really solid season for you so far. How much can you keep the momentum rolling as we head into, we're not quite to halfway point yet, but how much more can you keep this momentum rolling as we head to the latter half of the season here shortly?
Well, I'm hoping I can keep it going. I mean, usually week in and week out, I'm top 5-ish, hopefully. That's what it seems like. But, nights we get Connor, it's like I don't really get a chance to win, but I feel like we're getting there. I think I can keep the momentum rolling looking at the schedule. I think we have a good shot for the championship, I hope.
Good shot for a championship and a good shot for a win. He got it done today, 27 seconds ahead of the next driver. Zach, thanks for talking. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you later.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thanks. Well, that's going to do it for us here tonight from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Finny, one last roll down through your results. Disappointing day for, again, a couple drivers that we would have expected to run better. Jeff Wright, only 12th best. It seems like the road course touch has gone away.
Yeah, indeed. Even Tim Downey Jr., you can see right there, finished 23rd. That's really, really low. And nothing from what I saw happen to him. The car seemed fine, just didn't have the pace. So it's been an unfortunate run for him tonight, and also a few others. But great run for Zach, Caro, Gorman, and Gollier, top 3. And even some other guys too. Banks, Cabot. Cabot ran a really good race, holding a bunch of guys off the entire time. He had no room to breathe that race. He was defending first spot. Did a great job and definitely on the top 5.
Yeah, so 7 races in, and Golly's got 3 wins, and he just came off of one last week. We'll get a 3rd place here tonight. Yeah. That's going to do it for us here tonight, Finny, but where are we going next week?
Next week we're going to be heading to Kansas.
Oh, okay, so back to another 1.5 mile intermediate track, and then after that, looks like we've got Richmond, and then we head back to the Charlotte Oval and Roval. That'll be a double header here in just about 3 rounds, so make sure you don't miss that. So what's coming up on SimTV the next couple days? Oh boy, there's so much going on. Tomorrow night, we've got the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series. They'll be headed to Long Beach tomorrow night. That'll be the first time that track's ever been featured on SimTV. Right after will be Watkins Glen with the 3 Wide Racing League Super Late Model Series. And then Monday night, it's going to be twofold. It'll be Milwaukee with the 3 Wide National Series and ERSCA action from Talladega. Then Tuesday, Fuel Cup Series, or Fuel Premier Series rather, they head to Martinsville on the 7th. And then Wednesday, it'll be the Rodenzo Sports Car Challenge from Watkins Glen, another home track trip for us here from SimTV. Thanks so much for watching. And that's going to be all. Wait a second, maybe we're not done yet. We're going to see if we can talk to Adam Cabot before we go. I don't know if he's around. He is around. Let's see if we can pull him up here and have a little bit of a conversation. Hey, Adam Cabot, it's Kyle from SimTV. Got a copy?
I do, Kyle. What's up?
Well, you had a couple people that were wanted to hear from you after you finished top 5, and you had to work pretty hard for us. So just walk us through your race tonight, holding off Alex Pell, Bryce Clusa, and more.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't easy. I'm gonna have to ice my arms and my elbows after that one. But Yeah, I definitely didn't have the speed tonight. I mean, I finished top five, and I'm really happy with that. I wasn't expecting that going in, but um, yeah, I would pull away from them as they got battling Calusa and Bell. Like 3 laps to go, I'm like, all right, cool. They're like 3 seconds back, and then they would catch back up to me like a half a lap. So, gotta give them credit for being patient with me. They definitely would have pulled away from me if they got by me, but I just decided to kind of try and wheel it and stay ahead of them, and somehow it works. So really happy with the top five, and again, kudos to them for being pretty patient with me there.
Kansas next week, Adam. How do you feel about Kansas, and do you think you got a capability of winning next week at Kansas Speedway?
I have a much better capability of winning there than I do here. So yeah, looking forward to Kansas next week.
I also wanted to talk through maybe a little bit of the RG Bargy. We saw some contact there through some of the race with drivers behind you and in front of you. How much can you lean on people here, and was that generally accepted as okay, or were people chiming in over the radio tonight?
I guess it was accepted as okay between me and Alex, and a little bit of Bryce there. I mean, it got a little bit heated a couple times between them, but I thought it was just hard racing. Like when Alex got into me, that was more just me being slow in the middle of the corners, and it was all good in my books, just hard racing.
All right, Adam. Hey, congratulations, top five run. Good luck next week in Kansas. We'll see you later.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Of course. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. Finally, we're going to head off, and we'll be back with you again tomorrow. It'll be 7:15 Eastern, and then 9:40 for the two streams we've got tomorrow afternoon. So stay with us. We'll be back tomorrow. Join us then for the Coca-Cola of Kokomo Elite Series from Long Beach. My name's Kyle Heyer here with Finney and Acuna. Have a great night.